Okay, so to help you study with your functions test the week we come back from midterm, I'm going to just do a few sample answers on exam style questions. So this first question, I gave it to those of you who were on Friday. If you weren't there and you want to attempt it, it's 2024 paper 1 question 9d. So if you want to come back to this video after you've attempted that question, I'll be going through the solution now. So in this question, the information we're given is that the total sales for a concert can be modeled by this function here. So the function we have is f of x equals 15,000x minus 150x squared, where x is the price of the ticket and the function gives us the profit, the ticket sales, sorry. So we're told in this concert, the ticket sales are 360,000. We're asked to use this information to show that x squared minus 100x plus 2,400 equals 0. So what we know is the function we're given is 15,000x minus 150x squared, which tells us the ticket sales. We're told in this question, the ticket sales are equal to 360,000. So this is our first step. So we have this, we have 15,000x minus 150x squared equals 360,000. We need to use algebra to rearrange this to look exactly like this function here. So the first thing we notice about this function is it has a 0 on the right hand side. So we want a 0 to be on the right hand side of this as well. So to do that, the 360,000 needs to go somewhere. So it's going to go over to equal sign and the sign is going to change. So my next line would be 15,000x minus 150 x squared minus 360,000 equals 0. Now we need to use one more algebra technique to get from this to this. So in algebra, we know if we do something to one side, we can do it to another. And what we're going to do to this one side to make it look like this is take out a common factor. So we need a factor in common of 15,000x, 100 minus 150x squared, and minus 360,000. So we notice about this that we don't have any number in front of x squared. So if you don't have any number in front of x squared, that means there's going to be a 1. So you have to do something to minus 150x squared to get it to be 1x squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide everything by minus 150. You're going to see why now. So divide this by minus 150, divide this by minus 150, and divide this by minus 150. And 0 by minus 150 as well. So 0 by minus 150, 0 divided by anything gives me 0. So we do 15,000x minus 150, and we're going to get minus 100x. Here we've minus 150 over minus 150 x squared, which gives me plus x squared. And minus 360,000 divided by minus 150 gives me plus 2,400. Equals 0. Now there's one last thing we need to do to make this look like this, which is just to swap these around. And we know that we're able to do that because it doesn't matter what order we do addition. It's the same reason that we can say 4 plus 6 is the same as 6 plus 4. We can rearrange this as well. So all we have to do is let everything equal to 360,000, bring everything to the left hand side, and then to get rid of the minus 150 in front of x squared, we need to divide everything by minus 150. And by doing that, we've shown that x squared minus 100x plus 2,400 equals 0. So that's that question answered. So now the last thing it tells us to do is to solve the equation x squared minus 100x plus 2,400 to find two possible ticket prices for the concert. So what type of equation is this called? Since we have an x squared, it's a quadratic equation. So we have a formula for solving quadratic equations, and that formula is the minus b formula. So if you went into algebra on your log tables, you would see that the minus b formula is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that's when we have a quadratic in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So our a is going to be our number in front of x squared. And when there's no number, it's going to be 1. or b is the number in front of x, which is 100, but be careful because of the sign, it's actually minus 100. So b equals minus 100. And then c is the number in its own, so it's going to be 2400.